Okay, let's get started. Jamasana, everyone. It's Marilyn coming to you live from Narok, Kenya, near the Masai Mara. And I'm so excited to share this presentation with you. Many of you have been reaching out, asking questions about more details for the upcoming I Am Sisterhood Soul Safari in April 2017, where we will be discovering your soul's purpose while paying it forward. We did do a presentation recently, but we had a couple difficulties with technology, and so we're going to do this live again. And then for those of you that couldn't make it to the live presentation, we'll send this link out to you, both on the Soul Safari page on Facebook. That's a private Facebook group where we're constantly posting more pictures of the adventures that you will have here, travel tips, ways that we recommend traveling internationally and locally. And then, of course, getting to know other fellow Soul Safari members who are excited about upcoming adventures. If you're not part of that group already, you can either private message me or find us on Soul Safari Facebook, and we'll go ahead and approve you there. So let's get started on what the details are for this upcoming adventure. So the I Am Sisterhood Soul Safari is a ladies-only adventure this time. We've had many Soul Safaris where people of all ages, men, women, children can come. We've had grandmas come recently and had a fabulous time. This one is a little bit different Soul Safari, and you'll see why. So I am your partner in purpose. Again, my name is Marilyn Sorensen. I live here in Kenya. And so I'm going to be showing you what's home to me, what has become my home over the last few years, and since I moved here over a year ago now. So Karibu Kenya. Karibu is the Swahili word for welcome. So we are excited to welcome you to Kenya, whether it's welcoming you back. I know some of you are coming back that have come to Kenya before, and some of you, this will be your first time. So just a broad overview of the details. This Soul Safari will be held April 25th through May 1st. So you'll want to arrive at the latest April 24th, and then you will be departing on May 1st. Pretty much everyone will be departing in the evening, but we'll get into more of those travel details later on. This is a volunteerism trip, so there will be one or two projects where you will get to serve shoulder to shoulder with the beautiful people of Kenya. This is going to be the eastern coast of Kenya. Yes, for those of you that are surprised that there is a coast of Kenya, there is, and we'll show you more about that. So where in the world is Kenya? This is the map of Africa, the continent, and as you see in red, Kenya is on the eastern coast. So our neighbors are Tanzania, Uganda, Sudan, Ethiopia, and Somalia. If you look on this map, you will see in the bottom right hand, you'll see Malindi, Kilifi, Mombasa, Gazi. Mombasa is where we will mainly be. We will actually be in a private beach area called Diani Beach. And here are some of the fun facts about Kenya. We do lie on the equator, so it is a little bit warmer weather, especially for those of you that are experiencing the snowy winters right now in North America, although we do have people that are coming from all around the world. In April, it is very warm and tropical. Where we're going to be is a beautiful kind of springtime weather. We've had questions about, well, what is the temperature going to be? Sorry, I have a fly that wants to be friendly. It's going to be somewhere in the 75, 80 degrees, but fairly tropical, a fair amount of humidity, thus the happy Kenya curls. Kenya has been voted the best place to experience safari, and we're really well known for exporting tea and coffee. Swahili is the national language that is spoken here, and English is the international language that is spoken here. So both are taught, and most people speak a fair amount of English. Where we will be in Mombasa, there is a very eclectic culture there because it is a port city. And most Kenyans speak, I would say on average, 4 to 5 dialects. So they speak Swahili. Most people speak English, although it is proper British English, so it's a little bit different. They speak their mother tongue. Kenya has 42 tribes that live here, so they speak their main tribe, and then usually one or two surrounding tribes as well. Kenya, especially in Mombasa, is known for international yachting competitions. It gained its independence in 1963, and as you will see, they have some of the most beautiful beaches. I am more of a sun and sand girl than a snow and ski girl, and I love the beaches here. Here are a couple pictures. All the pictures in this presentation are pictures that I've taken on either my own adventures here before I moved or since then becoming a full-time resident of Kenya. So these are the beaches of Mombasa and Diani. You will see they are white sand beaches. In fact, Diani Beach is so refined that it almost doesn't feel like sand. It's almost more of a powdery consistency, which I absolutely love. Diani Beach is also private, and so there isn't a whole lot of crowding or tourists. In fact, sometimes you might go for quite some time without seeing another person. But the people that you see here listed in the top left-hand picture are from the Samburu tribe, which is a sub-tribe of the Maasai. The waters here are either stunning blue or kind of that Caribbean green. And Kenya is on the east coast of Africa, which means it's the Indian Ocean. So for those of you that are not familiar, the Indian Ocean is incredibly warm. I was really surprised the first time I went to the beaches there, how warm it is. It's almost like getting into either a little warmer, I would say, depending on the time of day, than a heated swimming pool. Sometimes it's a little more like a hot tub. And you can oftentimes walk out very far because the shelf is a good distance. So you can walk out quite a ways before you're even in waist-high water, which is really nice. So what are you going to expect on your experience here in Kenya? So there's two guarantees that we always make here at Soul Safari. Number one, you will never be the same. And number two, it is highly likely that you are going to fall in love with children and babies that you can't bring home. But we do welcome you to love on them while you are here and stay in touch afterwards. That's always fun. So there's an old African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And this is one of the reasons that we have designed this Soul Safari to be ladies only. There's another reason, and it's because it's going to be back-to-back with the I Am Sisterhood retreat that is hosted by Annie Dalter. So we're going to tell you a little bit about that and how you can take advantage of that opportunity as well. So here at Soul Safari, one of the reasons we call it a Soul Safari is because each time you're welcome to discover your soul's purpose. So I have been a scientific hand analyst for a number of years now and looked at thousands and thousands of hands. And it's always fun to share that gift to help you discover what your soul's purpose is. So in looking at your handprints, when you register to secure your spot, you will shortly after the first of the year receive your ink kit in the mail, so that I can analyze that by discovering what your life path, your life lesson, and your life purpose are. So what does that mean and where do I find that? So that is all located in the lines and the markings in the fingertips or the fingerprints. There are 4 different styles of prints, and it's kind of like decoding. I'm a code cracker. So when we look at your life path, it is kind of like the backdrop. Your natural mode of operation, a way of being that you've been since you were a little girl. So there are 4 different life paths: love, peace, wisdom, or service. Now, some of you may be in a combination of 2 or on the rare occasion 3, based on the combination of fingerprints that you were born with and agreed to. So your life path is that daily mode of operation, the backdrop in life, or sometimes you'll hear me refer to it as your life school, and you're going to learn it and its opposite. So if you're in the life path of service, you will also learn its opposite, which is sacrifice or servitude. So we're going to dive into that so you have a really great understanding of what your life path is, and then your life lesson. So oftentimes when people hear about the soul's purpose and that there's a path, a lesson, and a purpose, they get really excited and drawn to the life purpose. But over the years, I have discovered that life lesson is kind of that juicy keystone that really helps you stay on path with your purpose. It's the lessons where we build our courage muscles so that you can stay on path. And in my experience, I have discovered that when you embrace your life lesson, you can shorten your breakdown cycle and accelerate your breakthrough cycle, which is oftentimes those stumbling blocks, those lies that we believe about ourselves. And when you have the opportunity to discover your life lesson, it unlocks a whole new realm of possibility. And then, of course, your life purpose. So your life purpose is the reason, the force, the existence, and the source of your soul's desire. And oftentimes, we're here to create and fulfill our legacy or our life purpose. So you will have the opportunity before you even arrive for your soul safari to learn a little bit more about your hands. And then we will continue to unfold your soul's purpose during this adventure. We are also going to discover your sacred money archetypes, or your sacred contract with money. And no, it is not to struggle. You're actually here to fulfill that divine purpose you have with money, which is much more in alignment with your spirituality than you probably realize. So you're going to find out if you're the ruler, the alchemist, the maverick, the accumulator, the connector, the nurturer, the celebrity, or the romantic, and which is giving you a little bit more of a push and support right now in the cycle and season that you're currently experiencing. So we're going to learn more about that. Now, throughout the coming months, we're going to prepare you to arrive here in Kenya with trip training. Some of you that are coming are seasoned travelers. Some of you actually live in a different country right now. And others of you, this may be your first excursion outside of your home country, maybe your neighborhood. So we want to make sure that you are well prepared and confident. So we're going to talk about things such as smart packing. So this journey is not one where you really need to have a lot of options, as some people say. We're going to show you how to pack light, pack smart, so that you can possibly leave it and take home many wonderful treasures. In fact, over the years of traveling as a tourist here to Kenya, I got it down to really just about a backpack for 2 weeks. So I know how to pack light and pack smart, and I'm going to share those tips and tricks with you. These are some of the beautiful people in Kenya. Like I said, there are 42 different tribes here in Kenya. You're going to get to meet and interact with a handful of them. But these are some of my favorite faces that I've met over the years. The travel requirements. So we're going to go over those. Yes, a passport is required to enter Kenya, as it is with most countries nowadays. But we're going to go over all of the requirements and your visa, all of those details that many people are wondering about. These are a couple more pictures from Mombasa. This is me on the beaches. This is actually a birthday trip I took earlier this year, enjoying the warm climate in February. This is in February. Actually, January and February are two of the hottest months in this country, so we're not going to make you swelter on the beaches. It is nice, but some people feel it might be a little bit too toasty. So that's why we chose April as a perfect date. The bottom right-hand picture is a tuk-tuk. If you've never seen those, many people are used to seeing those in Indian cities. But Mombasa, you will find, has a lot of Indian influence because it is a port city. There are many businesses and imports that are run by Indians. And so tuk-tuks are a really fun way, I think, to get around, and so affordable. So don't be surprised if one of your mode of transportation is a tuk-tuk during your adventure. So as I mentioned, your first travel day is going to be November 1st. Misprint on that. So travel day, it's April 24th is the day you'll arrive. For most of you, departing April 23rd. is the day that you would depart. And you will arrive in Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. Now, at Soul Safari, we have a travel concierge team that as soon as you register, we start doing travel tags on you based on your departure city and airport. Our travel concierge team will start tracking the best flights at the best prices with the shortest travel times for you, so that you can arrive, all of you, pretty much within an hour's time of each other for transportation arrangements. You'll go through immigration, where your visa will be issued. That is one thing that we like to take care of for you. So we do all of the paperwork so that your visa is ready and waiting upon arrival. Then you go gather your luggage and make it through customs, where we will be there to greet you and give you lots of hugs. So I mentioned before that we do have many Pay It Forward projects throughout the country that we are supporting and that we are funding. And I wanted to share a couple of those with you. We will be choosing 2 of them. I can tell you one is already chosen, and then we'll look at the next one. But here's a little bit more information about the Pay It Forward projects that we currently have going. We say you have 2 hands, one to help yourself and the second to help others. And that's what we're committed to at Soul Safari. The main program that we support is called Days for Girls International. And we have personally worked together to launch 3 enterprises here. We have a 4th and possibly a 5th that will be launching here in the next 6 months. But let me tell you a little bit about what Days for Girls International does. So really, it's about helping girls stay in school and get their education. So after a Days for Girls kit is distributed, the absence rate drops in Kenya from 25% to 3%. And here's why. So in many developing countries, you might be surprised to discover that girls are still finding ways to manage their menstrual cycles with things like sand, yes, sand, animal feathers, old socks. So they will put sand or dirt, anything that they can stuff in a sock to be absorbent, old cloths, disposable pads if they have the financial means or the territorial means to have access to disposable pads, although oftentimes they reuse those pads because they just don't have the resources. Tampons are available in this country, although not used. Just because of cultural beliefs, tampons or insertables like the Diva cups or Ruby cups are not often used. Sometimes sponges, old pieces of mattresses, ripped t-shirts, old pieces of clothing or scarves are used to fashion like the old-time belts that we might be used to. And then, of course, it could also be washable pads, although we have a better source for those. So what's in a kit? In a kit, they receive a drawstring bag that looks it can either be a drawstring or fashioned like a backpack. So they can carry their bag to school. It's very comfortable, it's not see-through, and when taken care of properly, these kits last for 3 or more years. They're given 2 moisture barriers or shields. The shields have a thin piece of plastic, so it shields the panties as well. And the shields are leak-proof, so it just protects them as well. We also give them a Ziploc type freezer bag. So this is effective for transporting those soiled liners that we give them. We also suggest that they put their gray water or their wash water from their dishes in that bag in the morning so the soiled liners can go into that to be soaking. We give them 8 absorbent trifold pads. So the pads actually, in fact, I have some right here. So this is what a shield looks like. If you can hear it, there's a little bit of plastic in there. There's 2 pockets, one at the top and one at the bottom, and then a snap that goes around the back to secure it to the panty. Then they are given 8 liners. So these are soft flannel that is then folded into 3 and inserted into the shield and then snapped around the panty. So they're also given a pair of panties, a washcloth, instructions, and soap. Now, as you will see, very easy when they're not folded, much easier to wash and get clean. Also, when they're drying on the line, it looks like a handkerchief. So they girls can be a little incognito. Now, I will tell you that I have used a kit for over a year now. It's my preference, whether I am in Kenya, in the US, in a different country. Because of my environmental beliefs and preferences, this makes the most sense. Also, for many girls, they discovered that after using disposable pads that most women aren't aware of have chemicals in them and thus a expiration date, they discovered that many of those chemicals or absorbent materials may have been giving them rashes, irritation, or allergies. So this is what's in a kit. We usually find school groups, church groups, youth groups, where we can gather the girls. We can give them a workshop that allows them to learn about their anatomy, boys' anatomy, reproduction, menstrual cycles, empowerment, self-defense, as well as we talk about human trafficking. And so this is one of our main projects. We love the simple solution to helping girls stay in school instead of missing 5 to 7 days a month, getting behind, possibly dropping out. Girls in this country can often be susceptible to early marriage, sometimes as early as 11 or 12, and then they don't have an education to pass on to their children or to empower themselves as well. So this is one of our favorite projects that we continue to support and get the kits in as many girls' hands as possible. Oftentimes we have clean water resources as well. Anytime we teach Days for Girls, sometimes we also include building latrines so that the girls have a separate latrine and a hand washing station. So we have what are called tippy taps that we install. They're very, very simple, but really great ways for girls to have a washing station, not just for everyday sanitation, but especially while they're managing their menstrual cycles. Oftentimes we'll donate maize, clothing, school fees. One of our schools that we've adopted in the Mount Forest area is 10Case, where we have started building a library. We have a mini library there right now, and we're working on getting a actual separate building so that they can have access to the hundreds of books that we have been delivering every chance that we have. We've been doing soccer balls, latrines, many different projects there. This can be a typical inside of a classroom in Kenya, where the desks kind of look like those Laura Ingalls Wilder days, right? Little House on the Prairie days. The blackboard is just chalk paint, and as you can see, the floors often need repair because they may have once upon a time been cement, but most often than not, they are mud floors. And this is one of the committee members at the 10K school. He is Maasai, and they have grown very tall here in Kenya. Another program that we've been so privileged to be authorized for is Leonie Dawson's Shiny Year in Life and Biz. She has authorized Soul Safari to teach out of her beautiful workbooks for life and business in goal setting and doing it in a fun, creative way for women here in Kenya. These are some more pictures of some of the rolling hills and countryside here in Kenya. And of course, it is safari, right? We did say Soul Safari. So it is the Lion King come to life. And you will have the opportunity to experience many animals very up close and personal, like zebras, cheetahs, lions, giraffes. Are any of these your favorites? Elephants are always mine. My first safari experience, I was able to see 39 elephants in a herd together on the horizon, and there's just something majestic about them. The leopard, which is sometimes one of those hard to see animals, but a leopard is such a beautiful cat and much bigger than I could have imagined. Hippos. Hippos are another animal that if you've seen them in a zoo, they're probably not as big as they are here when they're found in their natural habitat. And pictures never fully capture the enormous size that hippos are. In fact, the first time I saw them, I realized that they were probably bigger than my full-size Dodge truck that I used to have. There's a variety of monkeys. There are different parts of Kenya where you can see different concentrations of animals, different varieties of monkeys, and yes, ostrich are found here. Maasai, I live in Maasai land. Maasai warriors are part of the Maasai tribe, one of the most remote tribes left on the planet, who are still practicing their ancient traditions on a daily basis. Another question that we get often, what about the food, Marilyn? Am I going to starve in Kenya? No. I can almost make that guarantee. Everyone that has come to Kenya on a soul safari falls in love with the food. Food here in Kenya is non-GMO'd. It is locally grown. The soils are very rich. You will find that foods like kales or carrots in your neck of the woods are much sweeter here in Kenya. And oftentimes I say it's just because it is non-GMO'd and whole natural foods. So this is a common meal that you'll probably get to try at least once. Ugali is what is the white, it looks like mashed potatoes in the center of the screen. It's actually cornmeal or corn maize, very similar to polenta, that consistency. And you would actually eat this dish with the ugali. So you take a piece of that, kind of make a little spoon out of it, and scoop up the bites of the beef or the kales or the carrot and cabbage and eat it that way. Githeri is another one of my favorite dishes. It is kind of a red beans or rose beans, maize, and different herbs and spices all together. Bajia, so these are actually potatoes in a kind of a tempura batter with cilantro and some other spices. Everyone that comes to Kenya says they fall in love with the potatoes because they are golden and buttery and not starchy like you find Idaho russets. Chapati is another favorite. It is similar to I would say a thicker tortilla is what chapati is like. Another eating implementation tool where you can use that to pick up different pieces of food. And Kenyans like to just cut it into fours and eat it like a stack as well. Kachumbari will look very similar and taste very similar to pico de gallo. Sometimes you'll find it sliced like this, or other times chopped more like pico de gallo. Cilantro is a very common herb here, very, very fresh. This is a picture I took on my counter about 3 days ago. So avocados are truly a fruit, and you will find them very fruity and sweet here in Kenya. And they are oftentimes 2, maybe 3 pounds big, as are the mangoes here. They're delicious. In fact, they're so soft and sweet when they're ripe that you can just scoop them out with a spoon. Those are fingerling bananas. If you have not had a banana ripe off the tree, you've not tasted a real banana, these are delicious. So lots of fresh fruits and vegetables you will eat. And most people say that they eat more quantities of food or more volumes of food while they're here in Kenya, yet they often tend to reduce a little because A, they're happy, B, it's whole foods, it's local, and it's non-GMO'd. This is another common meal, one of my favorites. This is a seasoned steak. Beef, again, non-GMO'd, organic, free-range, happy cows. Maasai are very well known for cows and grow most of the beef here. They sing to their cattle all day. They do not put them in a pen except at night to keep them away from the lions. Makes sense, right? So beef here is also sweeter. There's a sweetness to beef here. You'll see that those are kales or spinach, oftentimes lots of cabbage. Cabbage has a much sweeter taste here. And then that's pilau rice, which has more of an Indian flavor of cardamom, cinnamon, cloves, black pepper, really delicious. Samosas are another favorite. So meat pockets or vegetables, so minced beef or chicken with spices, sometimes with pili pili, or we say chili. Also veggies. So there are veggie samosas for all of you veggie lovers that are vegan or vegetarian. Plenty of options. So more details. The duration of the trip, it begins April 25th. So we start bright and early with breakfast on April 25th, and it goes through the evening of May 1st when we depart. The location is Kenya, Africa. Currently, we have 9 spots open for 9 soul sisters to join us. The early bird pricing, we have continued through this Saturday evening, December 10th, just because of that technical glitch we had a couple of days ago with the presentation. So happy to extend that discount. You'll save $200 if you register before this Saturday, December 10th. After that, the expedition investment is the regular price of $1,497. So what does that include? That includes your arrival assistance at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport or in Mombasa. We will be watching. We have found that right now it looks like flying into Jomo Kenyatta International and then taking a quick 1-hour flight right now is looking at a savings about $200. So we will be there to pick you up in Mombasa and get your Soul Safari adventure started. You will be having double or twin sharing standard rooms in each guest house or the lodge that we're staying at. So you will have a roommate. If you prefer not to have a roommate, just reach out to me, let me know, and we'll adjust the price for you for a single room. All of your meals are included, so 3 meals a day, and of course there will be snacks as well. Ground transportation throughout. Your entrance fees for your night or game safari drives, entrance fees to anywhere that we go. Approximately 3 liters of water each day are included. Yes, of course, we're going to want to keep you hydrated, and if there needs to be more, not a problem. All your safari guides, the tips for any of the staff, like at the guest house or your drivers, that's all been included in the fee, as well as your Kenya visa. Again, we will take care of that for you. We're very used to navigating the Kenya visa application website that can sometimes be a little bit finicky and frustrating for people. So since we know how to navigate it best, we take care of that for you. There are unlimited hugs and laughter and memories that will last a lifetime. So to secure your spot, it's a $500 deposit. You can go to this link right here, http://bit.ly/Soul Safari deposit. That will lock in your rate of $1,297 if it's before December 10th. So then just the remainder will make it simple, easy payments until March. So the final payment is due March 25th. So what's not included? What's your responsibility? Not much, quite honestly. Your cell service. If you feel like you need to still have access to your cellular service, we encourage you to reach out to your carrier and see what their international plan is. You will have access to Wi-Fi. So if you do have Wi-Fi calling, that's an option. We always recommend WhatsApp. That's a really great Wi-Fi calling service as well. But if you want to pay for your international plan for texting or to make cell-to-cell calls, we do encourage you to look at that option. Shopping. There will be shopping. Part of your trip training, we will show you some of the different items that we find most ladies love to take back home with them. Because it's springtime, we know that the beaded sandals that are around here are a fan favorite. And gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So there are lots of jewelry, beaded jewelry, baskets, because we are on the coast and the tribes there are well known for their basket making. And of course, we have some surprises for you as well. Travel insurance. If you choose travel insurance, whether, usually travel insurance is if there is a family emergency and you have to cancel your trip, can you get your money back for your airfare? Let's see, things like if you're sick, all of that. Travel insurance is up to you. We can give you recommendations if you'd like to take advantage of those. Immunizations, we will talk about that. There are actually no immunizations that are required by the country of Kenya to enter, unless you are arriving by land from a country that may have yellow fever. Then yellow fever is required. But There is nothing that is actually required in order to enter the country. We will talk about options for malaria avoidance, or as I call it, mosquito avoidance, because malaria is present in Kenya, but I'm a fan of showing you how to avoid mosquito bites instead. So medications, if you do have any medications or supplements that you are taking, those are your responsibility, although oftentimes there are some alternatives or the equivalent that is found in Kenya for a lot cheaper. So we can give you recommendations that way. Laundry, if you would like to really pack light and only bring 2 or 3 outfits in your swimming suit, there is an opportunity for you to have your laundry done. It's very, very affordable, and we can give you those details as well. Your airfare is separate. Like I mentioned, our travel concierge team here at Soul Safari will be happy to help you find the lowest prices with the shortest travel times. So we put tags on your flight plans and find that for you, take care of all of that. Right now, as we've been tagging certain flight plans, we're finding airfare at about $1,100, maybe $1,050. But as we're getting closer, if we find something, once in a while, we will find flights that drop below $1,000, and that's when we'll say, okay, we're booking today. So we'll keep you posted on all of those happenings. So again, Soul Safari, this coming April 2017, we have 9 spots left for some dear soul sisters to join us. And again, this is in conjunction on right before the I Am Sisterhood retreat with Annie Dalter is being hosted. So many of you have decided that you want to come for both the retreat and the Soul Safari. And so we want to welcome you for both of those events. Annie Dalter is world-renowned in her retreats and the rituals and beautiful experiences that she creates. If you would like some more information on the Soul Sisterhood, the I Am Sisterhood retreat, let me know and I can get you in touch with Annie. That experience will include the I Am, creator of my life's path, I am sister in a tribe, I am my passions, I am delightfully abundant, I am defined, and much more. We do have a summer Soul Safari coming up July 27th through August 7th. That is during the migration of the wildebeest, which is considered one of the wonders of the world. We will be having presentations about that. But again, you can stay connected with us at the Facebook group. It's a private group for Soul Safari members. Reach out to me and I'll make sure that you are connected there so you can get more information about that Soul Safari and quite a few others that are in the works right now with groups from different countries, Girl Scout groups, families, ones with more children coming. So you just let me know what you're interested in. I will say that the sunsets here are something else that you will want to make sure your camera is charged for and you have an extra SD card. Sunsets and sunrises. So we welcome you, Karibu Kenya. Come play with us. We would love to show you Kenya and this experience with our other soul sisters. Again, you can secure your spot and take advantage of that $200 savings with a $500 deposit at the Soul Safari deposit. Or if you need me to send you that link directly, just reach out to me. Also, if you've been watching this and you know that there is a sister, a friend, a mother, a daughter that you would love to have come with you, I'm happy to send this recording or more information. You can find it MarilynKnows.com under the Soul Safari tab, and we have a lot more information there. So if you have more questions that have come up, again, let me know. We say, we must take adventures in order to know where we truly belong. So we would love to welcome you to Kenya and to our sisterhood. It was a pleasure to be with you guys. Again, I can't wait to welcome you to Kenya and hug you here on the beaches on the Indian Ocean. We welcome you. And in Swahili, when we say goodbye, we say kwaheri. So until next time, kwaheri.